Special Counsel Jack Smith testifies before Congress. President Trump's Board of Peace gets off the ground. And the live-action Snow White rakes in some abysmal awards. I'm Daily Wire Executive Editor John Bickley with Georgia Howe. It's Thursday, January 22nd. This is Evening Wire.
Former Special Counsel Jack Smith appeared on Capitol Hill today, where he was grilled by the House Judiciary Committee about his prosecutions of President Trump, as well as his targeting of prominent Republicans. Texas Representative Brandon Gill highlighted that Smith subpoenaed months of phone logs from then Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy, only 16 days after McCarthy was sworn into the position.
Mr. Smith, at the time you secured those non-disclosure orders, was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
The non-disclosure order was based on concerns about...
Was Speaker McCarthy a flight risk?
He was not.
He was not, and you were using clearly false information to secure a non-disclosure order to hide from Speaker McCarthy and from the American people the fact that you were spying on his toll records.
Committee Chairman Jim Jordan called out Smith's use of a paid confidential source during the investigation.
We know you gave $20,000 to someone. It just got reported last week.
My recollection regards the $20,000, which was not a payment from me. It was me approving a payment by the FBI to a confidential human source.
How many other payments went to this source or other sources?
As I sit here, I do not know the answer to that question. My role as special counsel...
$35 million, and you're giving money to people the country doesn't know who they are, and you're giving their hard-earned money to these folks?
President Trump signed the Board of Peace into existence in Davos today. Representatives from several countries, mostly from the Middle East and Eastern Europe, attended the event. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, and U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff also appeared and gave a sneak peek at the vision for the future of Gaza. Here's Witkoff.
We have achieved a peace deal in Gaza. We have brought the hostages home. And maybe most importantly, we have created a sense of hope for what the future can bring.
Kushner described Gaza's current dependence on foreign aid and how, quote, free market economy principles may be the solution.
85% of the GDP of Gaza has been aid for a long time. That's not sustainable. It doesn't give these people dignity. It doesn't give them hope. And so we want to use free market economy principles. A lot of what President Trump spoke about that he's doing in America, we want to bring the same mindset, the same approach to a place like Gaza to give these people the ability to thrive and have a good life.
The National Institutes of Health will no longer fund research involving the use of fetal tissue derived from aborted babies. The announcement made earlier today marks a significant win for the pro-life movement, which has long pushed to remove that profit motive for abortions. In an interview with Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro, NIH Director Jay Bhattacharya said this limit won't cause harm to scientific innovation.
Now that there's better technology, there's no scientific harm to this. We're still going to be able to do the science we need, while at the same time getting rid of this use of aborted human fetal tissue, which so many people, including me, find morally abhorrent.
He also pointed out that fetal tissue can still be used for NIH-funded research when necessary if it is not specifically from an abortion. The announcement comes one day before the annual March for Life in D.C.
Pro-life activist group Live Action hosted an event on Capitol Hill today highlighting the side effects of chemical abortion drugs, which account for more than 60% of abortions in the U.S. Daily Wire reporter Brecca Stoll has more.
A recent study from the Ethics and Public Policy Center found that 1 in 10 women who take the abortion pill experience serious health complications, and 1 in every 25 women who take the pill wind up in the emergency room. The press conference featured the head of the center that performed the study, as well as several congressmen, a medical expert, and the organization's founder, Lila Rose. Morning Wire spoke to Rose about the pills and potential consequences. Here's what she had to say.
The on-demand sale of the abortion pill via our postal mail system is the biggest public health crisis that we are facing. There are thousands of women going to the emergency room with severe health complications and sometimes life-threatening health complications because of the abortion pill. There are hundreds of thousands of children being killed in this country annually by the abortion pill. It's our biggest public health crisis. So this is action that the FDA and the administration can take immediately to pull approval for mifepristone as an abortifacient and pull it from the market.
This is your year. 2026 is when that business idea finally becomes real. Our sponsor Shopify gives you everything you need to stop planning and start building. Shopify really does give you everything you need to sell online and in person. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made the leap, from big household names to people just starting their first business, including our own Daily Wire shop. Getting set up is surprisingly fast thanks to Shopify's built-in AI tools that can write your product descriptions and headlines, even help you edit photos. Marketing is baked right in too, so you can create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they're scrolling. And as your business grows, Shopify scales right along with you. You can handle more orders, expand into new markets, and manage everything from the same dashboard. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/wire. Go to shopify.com/wire. That's shopify.com/wire. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Federal authorities arrested alleged agitators who took part in the anti-ICE mob that stormed a church service in St. Paul, Minnesota on Sunday. Daily Wire immigration reporter Jenny Terr has the story.
Attorney General Pam Bondi first announced this morning that agents with the FBI and Homeland Security investigations nabbed Black Lives Matter activist Nikema Levy-Armstrong, who's accused of playing a key role in organizing the coordinated attack on City's church. Minutes later, Bondi said authorities had arrested Chantil Louisa Allen, who leads BLM Twin Cities and serves on the St. Paul Public School Board. Bondi wrote, quote, "Listen loud and clear, we do not tolerate attacks on places of worship." Later Thursday, Bondi revealed that authorities also took William Kelly into custody. Kelly previously harassed worshipers at Secretary of War Pete Hegseth's church in Washington, D.C. Also among those agitators who stormed the church was former CNN host Don Lemon, who's been making the rounds online defending his actions. A federal judge, however, refused to sign off on charges against Lemon, and Attorney General Pam Bondi is apparently enraged.
Vice President J.D. Vance headed to Minneapolis today to show support for community leaders and ICE officials during the ongoing unrest. Daily Wire senior editor Joel Needler reports.
Vance stopped first in Toledo, Ohio, where he delivered remarks on President Trump's commitment to lowering prices, increasing paychecks, and creating more jobs across the Midwest. He then set off for Minneapolis for a roundtable discussion with local leaders and community members. A White House official told the Daily Wire the vice president also met with ICE agents to, quote, reinforce the White House's unwavering support for federal immigration officials. Here's Vance in Minneapolis this afternoon.
One of the things that I want to send a message to is, yes, come out and protest me, protest our immigration policy, but do it peacefully. If you assault a law enforcement officer, the Trump administration and the Department of Justice is going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. And here's the point. We can do a good job of enforcing our immigration laws without the chaos, but it actually requires the cooperation of state and local officials.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent fired back at California Governor Gavin Newsom after being mocked as, quote, smug. Daily Wire senior editor Cabot Phillips reports.
In a Fox Business interview with the World Economic Forum, Bessent discussed the Trump administration's plan to limit or ban large institutional investors from buying single-family homes.
We are going to give guidance at some point to see what is a mom and pop. Maybe your parents for their retirement have bought 5, 10, 12 homes. So we don't want to push the mom and pops out. We just want to push everyone else out.
Governor Newsom reposted that clip, mocking Bessent on X, writing, quote, could this smug man be more out of touch? When asked about the slight, Bessent fired back.
Governor Newsom, who strikes me as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken, may be the only Californian who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris. He is too smug, too self-absorbed, and too economically illiterate to know anything. Let me know if you need any further clarification.
Following the spat, Governor Newsom's press office said the governor was denied entry into the official headquarters for the U.S. delegation in Davos. When asked about the incident, White House spokeswoman Anna Kelly told the Daily Wire, quote, no one in Davos knows who third-rate Governor Newsom is or why he is frolicking around Switzerland instead of fixing the many problems he created in California.
Mahmoud Khalil, the Syrian-born activist who helped organize pro-Hamas and anti-Israel disruptions in New York, will be deported to Algeria. Khalil has been battling the administration's efforts to cancel his green card for months, but an appellate court decision last week seems to have been the nail in the coffin for his efforts to stay in the country. DHS Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs Tricia McLaughlin told Katie Pavlich that Khalil is now likely bound for North Africa.
It looks like he'll go to Algeria. That's what the thought is right now. It's a reminder for those who are in this country on a visa or on a green card. You're a guest in this country. Act like it. It is a privilege, not a right, to be in this country, to live or to study.
Taylor Swift's texts to Blake Lively have been made public in Lively's sexual harassment lawsuit against actor Justin Baldoni, and they're not flattering. Daily Wire reporter Lyndon Blake has the details.
After attempting to distance herself publicly from Lively and the whole matter, new legal documents reveal Swift referred to Baldoni as a B word and reveal that she had insider knowledge about the New York Times piece that would come out about Baldoni. Her text to Lively reads, "I think this B word knows something is coming because he's gotten out his tiny violin." In another exchange, Lively referred to Baldoni as her doofus director and a clown to Swift. The two also discussed Baldoni's strategic mistake in allowing the movie trailer to use a Taylor Swift song, saying it shifted more leverage over the film toward Lively. The text may prove damaging to Lively's claims that Baldoni exploited power dynamics on set. Lively's sexual harassment and retaliation lawsuit is set to go to trial in May. Baldoni's $400 million counter lawsuit was dismissed by the court in late 2025, and a hearing on a motion to dismiss Lively's claims is set for January 23rd.
And Disney's live-action Snow White remake has gotten a bunch of nominations, but not for the awards the filmmakers probably hoped. Daily Wire entertainment reporter Amanda Harding explains.
After falling far short of recouping its huge budget and scoring an abysmal 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, Snow White has been nominated for the internet's most notorious film awards. The massive flop was nominated in 6 categories for the annual Golden Raspberry Awards, Razzies, making it the most nominated film alongside Ice Cube's War of the Worlds. Both films were nominated for Worst Picture. The press release said of the nomination, quote, "A slow-paced, unnecessary reimagining of a classic, filled with drawn-out musical numbers, dopey CGI dwarves, and enough mediocrity to leave the audience in a very unhappy place." Along with Worst Picture, Snow White was nominated for Worst Remake, Supporting Actors, Screen Combo, Director, and Screenplay. Despite many critics blaming activist actress Rachel Zegler for contributing to the disaster, she avoided being nominated for Worst Actress.
Those are your drive home updates this evening. To learn more about these stories, go to dailywire.com. And in case you missed it earlier today, we covered some major stories, including President Trump taking over Davos, Michelle Tafoya jumping into the Minnesota Senate race, and Jack Smith testifying in Congress. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another full edition of Morning Wire.